Hello, people of the internet. This is Kaiju Noir.
And Pete.
And guess what? We're back with our first and possibly last review of 2016. I'll get to that in an update video in the future. But yes, we're back. I know we didn't do a best and worst of 2015 because, we were kind of busy.
Very busy. Let's just say lots of personal things.
Lots of personal things, big plans in the future for both of us.
Absolutely.
And so, but I do want to say, I guess my favorite movie of 2015 was, I'll go with Mad Max. I mean, I love The Revenant.
That's a movie I never got to see.
You should definitely see. It's really good. I mean, if Leonardo DiCaprio doesn't get an Oscar this time after actually going out there and freezing his ass off, I don't know what will, but yeah, it's a great movie. But I have to give it to Mad Max only because of its sheer amount of insanity and fun and just that good old-fashioned, old-school filmmaking goodness.
I like it. Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since I've seen Mad Max. I can't really think of my favorite movie right now, so I'll have to pass on that for now.
All right, worst movie for me. I don't know. I can just be lazy and give it to Paranormal Activity: The Ghost Dimension.
Did you see it?
I actually did see it with family friends, with my sister and family friends. I didn't get a chance to review it because, I was like waiting maybe we would see it together. I guess, obviously never happened. I also saw the Peanuts movie.
How was that?
Really good.
Oh.
Nothing mind-blowing, but it's like really touches your heart. You're like, yeah, like, aww. If you grew up with the Peanuts, you're like, those are my boys right there. That's my jam.
Oh, that's funny.
Love that Snoopy.
I really want to watch Shaun the Sheep, the movie this year.
I heard that was really good.
Yeah, I wish I could have seen it.
But yeah, Paranormal Activity: Ghost Dimension sucks. The whole 3D gimmick kind of ruins the whole point of Paranormal Activity because you actually see the shit.
Which was worse though, the Mexican edition or this one?
There were some cool moments with Ghost Dimension. So for worst, I'll still say the Mexican edition. Even with Ghost Dimension, it was like a big rehash of the third movie. The third movie. No, the third movie was the prequel. So it was a whole rehash of the fourth movie where it's like another family. No. It is a rehash of the third movie because they find a camera, and the camera they start doing wacky shit, and it's like, oh no, we just so happen to be in this house where all this crazy shit's going on. Wait a minute, that's essentially... all these movies are starting to blend together, but from what I remember with Ghost Dimension, it was just a rehash of plot elements we've seen in other movies, only this time you see the ghost, which ruins the whole point, and every scare is the exact same with the black Venom symbiote suit just going, woo!
I'm scared!
It's just poking itself at the camera woo! All the scares are the same, it's all jump scares or it's all boo! Scary symbiote man. But yeah, let's talk about a good movie.
Okay.
So for the first movie of 2016, we went to see Deadpool. We just got out of it. This was my first time seeing it. This was your second time seeing it. And it's hard to believe that after the supposed leaked footage came out right after Comic-Con 2 years ago, here we are already finally with the Deadpool spin-off that we were promised way back in 2007 or 8 with X-Men Origins Wolverine, where we had the infamous Baraka pool. And then ever since then, Ryan Reynolds, he's everyone was yeah, this guy's a perfect Deadpool, and give him another chance, and even he wants to do it. And then he got a little sidetracked over there, with DC. But yeah, we are here. We are going to talk about the adaptation to I believe it was the 90s Rob Liefeld created character. Of course, when he was made in the comics, he was kind of your generic masked thug mercenary dude. And it was the help of other writers that put their own spin on him and made him the fun-loving, fourth wall-breaking, wisecracking maniac, murderous maniac that we all know and love. So this movie, Deadpool, what is it about? Well, it's pretty much Deadpool being Deadpool. Well, also kind of being an origin story for Deadpool.
I was gonna say, exactly.
Yeah. A good chunk of the movie is focused on the origin, and what I really like, it's told out of style, where there's a dual there's dual storylines going on. It goes back and forth. Like we see present Deadpool, then we go to flashback Deadpool, and eventually flashback Deadpool catches up to the present time. And from there on, we eventually get to like the middle of the movie, around the middle of the movie, and then towards the climax and whatnot.
And while I like that, I feel like I got some whiplash at times where I'd be like, it's like, you know, it's an action scene going on, and all of a sudden we're gonna stop back to back to the origin.
Although it did lead to my favorite transition in the movie that had a big middle finger to X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm going to try my best not to spoil the best gags in this movie. Boy, was this movie really funny.
Oh, yeah. It was fun, oh, my gosh. Full of jokes, full of crazy just action scenes. It's insane.
Very snappy dialogue. All the characters work well off one another.
Oh, yeah.
And in a way, it kind of reminded me, I'm not sure, that I might be out of bounds here, but it kind of reminded me of a Mel Brooks kind of movie. He was the guy behind Young Frankenstein, Blazing Saddles, Spaceballs, where you just have all these goofy, over-the-top characters, but they just have this natural on-screen charisma.
I can kind of see what you mean. Also with their snappy snappy responses, where it's like they when someone says something, it's immediately they got a retort or a comment to spout just immediately right after.
Yeah. In a way, it kind of also reminds me of Blazing Saddles. How you got, or rather, it's kind of Blazing Saddles also copied. Felt like a Looney Tunes, where you have your Bugs Bunny type of character who is like, pretty much, you know, Bugs Bunny's gonna win, but it's really funny seeing him outsmart his enemies. Even though he's Deadpool, yeah. I mean, you got this very generic villain who's like Francis, who's like, oh, I'm going to make mutant slaves and sell them to the black market, and he's pretty much just like a punching bag for Deadpool to constantly, like, you know, throw jokes at. And I feel like with Francis, it works a lot better than Ronan the Accuser from the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, where he's meant to be taken seriously.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, whereas Francis, you know, he's not, you know, Deadpool doesn't really take him seriously. I mean, sure, he wants to kick his ass, for, you know, and wants him to fix his deformity, his deformed face, but
it's not like he's a threat to anyone either, really.
Right, yeah. It's a lot of it is played up for laughs. I forgot to completely skip over. I skipped over the plot synopsis, but yeah, it switches back and forth. You see the origin of Deadpool. He was Wade Wilson, a really kind of like a gun. He's kind of like a mercenary. Well, he was a former special forces member who was dishonorably charged, and then he took up a job as kind of a mercenary, like pulling off jobs for other people.
Or as they like to put it, soldiers of fortune.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, work for hire, you know, guns for hire, that sort of thing. And he eventually falls in love with another crazy psychopath who is equally as awesome as he is. And eventually he gets cancer, and so he decides to join this shady organization in order to help cure him of cancer, but instead they experiment on him, unlock his hidden mutant genes, fucked up his skin, and left for dead. And so he decided to moonlight as Deadpool and trying to track down the people who did this to him, while at the same time having to get the girl, beat the bad guy, and having to team up with a couple X-Men along the way. So it's all good fun, and it really feels kind of like something you'd expect out of a comic book movie, where it's like, here's another day in the life of Deadpool. Even though it's an origin story, it kind of feels more like a day in the life of Deadpool. Yes. And it's like, oh, here's our guest character, Colossus, and
Super Mega
Teenage Warhead.
Yes, that's what it was.
What was it? We're looking through like the cast list right there.
Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
It's an awesome name.
What the ass? What does he say?
I forgot.
What the ass?
Like super. What was it, like Negasonic Teenage? What? What the fuck? Yeah, and I really like those two characters. This is probably like this is the third or fourth version of Colossus we've had. Yeah, this one seems to be like the most comic accurate, because with previous Colossus, he tends to be like very just a dude with shiny metal skin. Here, he's a lot more, his body's a lot more exaggerated.
Chrome dome.
Yeah, Chrome Dome is all more exaggerated, and he actually has like the segmented lines all over his body, which he never had before. And I like how he's like this super
Pacifist.
not pacifist, idealistic.
There you go.
He's super idealistic, very like kind of like the stereotypical, the Superman-esque Boy Scout, where it's like we gotta do right, we got to be
Boy Scout describes him
the
perfectly.
Boy Scout. Yeah, we got he's like the Mr. Go by the rules and be a good person. Mr. Goody Goody Two Shoes, and pretty much the exact as the exact opposite of Deadpool. And they really do a good job at making him kind of innocent. He's kind of like naive, He's so good to the point where he's naively foolish in thinking that someone like Deadpool could easily just like embrace the X-Men just like that.
He was all CGI, right?
I believe so. Yeah, I'm fairly certain that they used some like motion capture on him, but for what it's worth, I think the CGI was passable enough to where it was a lot of fun seeing him in action. Negasonic Teenage Warhead is pretty funny, being the stereotypical teenager with attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Deadpool
just reads her. You already know. I know exactly what you are. I got you read like a book.
Yeah, and it's kind of like with just like the story itself. It's kind of they take these generic story action beats and character archetypes and just play and have Deadpool just like have fun messing around with them.
And of course, he breaks the fourth wall as everyone would have hoped.
Exactly, yeah. And it's very much so like Ferris Bueller, how he would like every once in a while stop and chat with the audience, have a one-sided chat with the audience as he's narrating and stuff. You don't really see that kind of thing in modern films nowadays. I don't know why. Maybe audiences wouldn't really get behind that or wouldn't understand a concept as breaking the fourth wall. But it's used to really good degrees here. And it doesn't... There are people out there who don't really like Deadpool because either he's too over the top, or he's too fun, or he's too wacky, or he becomes there are times where it's easy to make Deadpool a parody of himself, where he's just a character who spouts nothing but memes and jokes, one-liners, and breaking the fourth wall. Ooh, look at this, I'm breaking the fourth wall. It turned him into more of a joke and less of a character, but I feel like they strike that perfect balance here in the movie.
We were talking about that earlier.
At the very end when the movie ended.
Yeah, we don't. He's not as over the top or as overpowered or as as
psychotic.
He's not a psychopath.
They kind of bring him more down to earth. They give him a full backstory, which I don't think we ever really got in the comics. I mean, this is only from like secondhand information.
I mean, to be fair, his backstory in this isn't that much either.
He's basically the same person as he was before.
Yeah, that's one thing we noticed too. Yeah, like you said. So from when he's Wade Wilson to Deadpool, his personality, his comedy, it's the exact same. Nothing has changed from Wade to Deadpool. And
except I guess he's more willing to kill people. Because he mentioned how like after the special forces, he didn't really do a whole lot of killing. He tends to be just like the strong arm people into doing what his clients want them to do.
To be fair though, he wasn't dealing with murderous jerkbags like he is now.
Right, yeah. It's like he put himself in a situation where he does go all out, going from his kill streak from like 41 to 80 something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I feel if Wade was put in this same position before he was Deadpool, he would have done the exact same thing.
Probably, yeah.
But I mean, again, I think if they had portrayed him as psychotic, as crazy, and as like you said, mindlessly spouting jokes, he wouldn't have been as likable on the big screen as he is in the comics.
And not just for mainstream I don't feel like these changes were just made just to have him be more relatable to mainstream audiences, but just to make him work as a protagonist overall. Because for a lot of his appearances, he tends to be like the sidekick or the side character. He's the comic relief, while the main characters are trying to do all their stuff. Here comes Deadpool just to make the situation worse for everybody. Meanwhile, I feel like there are I'm told, from what I understand, there are comics out there that do try to take a more serious approach to Deadpool while still keeping him his, fun-loving self, and treat him as a character with his own, ambitions and his own flaws that he tries to overcome. And from what I understand, he's this character who actually wants to do good, but he he realizes that he can. You know, he's a fuck up. You know.
What'd you think of his costume and his facial movements?
Oh, I love the costume. I'm so glad that we finally have a superhero movie where the where the costume has the white expressive eyes.
Right?
Because every superhero in like comics almost every superhero in comics seems to have those white eyes. Whether it's Flash, Green Lantern, Batman. I think Hawkman may have had it.
I love the expression he makes when he notices that someone is gone. Just seeing those white eyes just open up and just like you can see emotion in it. It's great. He's what? But like you said, there's so many characters that have those eyes,
but you never see them in live action.
Yeah. Exactly.
And also, it's like we have a skin-tight suit. Also, it's like a skin-tight spandex suit, which again, we don't really see that much outside of, I guess, Spider-Man, because everything has to be, I guess Superman to an extent, yeah, as well. But, you know, sometimes people have to, like, there are cases like Batman where they have to, like, armor him up instead of giving him the spandex suit.
Right. And pretty much any other heroes really wearing, like, just different kind of clothes or, like, armor. Like, I think of Hawkeye, and I don't think of him wearing super tight spandex or just other Marvel heroes in general.
Yeah. Also, for the costume, I was really surprised they were able to pull off the little like sock thing on top of his head, because there are certain artists that would draw his mask as if it was kind of like not a ski mask, but you know those like the cartoonish robber mask where like a big sock or beanie over their face when they have the little flap of the beanie hanging off there, and that's pretty much how most artists depict Deadpool's mask. Yeah. But sometimes they depict the Deadpool's mask as just like a flat skull, rounded mask, and I don't know, I guess it doesn't look right for me.
I do like that they have that, like just little details.
Yeah, little details like that to make a very comic accurate suit. And speaking of comic accuracy, it was really fun to see Negasonic Teenage Warhead's costume be revealed to be, I'm fairly certain it's the New Mutants costume, because the New Mutants, they were kind of like, I think it was the 80s they were introduced, could be the 70s, and they were kind of supposed to be brought in as like the next generation of X-Men. I
think you're right, yeah.
I think we're Googling it right now, but that's a later version of the New Mutants, I think. But yeah, it's basically like, well, a large, like primarily, that's it, like primarily yellow costume with like black on the arms and legs. But that's not important, but it was just a fun little bit of fan service. And I really like that you acknowledge the fact that there are only 2 X-Men that are shown in the movie.
Yeah. And not enough budget for in the movie.
Yeah, they do make, it's like this movie is, not a satire. It satirizes the common elements that surround superhero movies, because of course superhero movies, they're almost a dime a dozen nowadays. It's become to the point where people are saying that there are maybe too many superhero movies out there. I mean, this year we're going to have Captain America 3, we're going to have Batman vs. Superman, we're going to have Doctor Strange, so on and so forth.
Is Suicide Squad also this year?
Suicide Squad also. And of course on TV we have Supergirl, we have Flash, we have Arrow, we have Legends of Tomorrow. On Netflix we have Jessica Jones, we have Daredevil, we're gonna have Luke Cage and Iron Fist soon. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and this movie is very smart in poking fun at itself, as well as the entire genre that this movie came out of. Because I think like a movie like this wouldn't have existed if it weren't for the popularity of these superhero movies. Because
definitely.
It's such a very it's a niche thing, because this is an R-rated comedy based on a popular comic book character, and that is extremely rare. I mean, we had Kick-Ass before, but Kick-Ass barely made enough money to warrant a sequel, and even the sequel was kind of a disappointment.
Right.
And even then, like R-rated action movies, let alone like R-rated comic book movies, outside of Dredd, which again didn't do well here in America, they just don't I guess like studio audience, big studios are just too afraid of making R-rated movies because they're afraid that they won't bring in the draw for the money that a PG-13 movie would make. In fact, when we went to see Deadpool, there were actually people out there to check people's tickets and making sure no kids sneak into Deadpool. It's really funny how Deadpool was so popular that for once we saw the theater actually attempt to get some audience control.
That's the thing. I think Deadpool's popularity has been growing and growing and growing so much.
In fact, sorry, go ahead.
It's a lot more popular than Dread. I mean, I didn't know much about Dread myself. I just knew that they were making a new movie, or with Kick-Ass. I mean, Kick-Ass was kind of popular once the first one came out, but after that it dwindled out, and I think they made the next movie like 2 years after.
Yeah, let's see. We reviewed Kick-Ass 2. Yeah. I want to say 2013. So the other movie probably came out 2011. Sounds about right.
After, so its popularity had already died down for the most part. I mean, but Deadpool's been an ongoing. I mean, he's getting more and more popular. I mean, he had his own game, which was a mild success. He's everywhere now. He's in memes. He's in shirts. He's like
you see him in Hot Topic.
Yeah, I was about to say he has his own section of Hot Topic.
Where was it? You would see him at Spencer's.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I really started learning more about Deadpool after his appearance in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I think I was really exposed to him. I just at that point, that's when I started seeing him in more media, just more stuff all around.
I first saw Deadpool in. Do you remember when when Marvel kind of was really used to be dedicated to their direct-to-video movies, and they made Hulk versus Wolverine, Hulk versus Thor? That's where I first saw Deadpool.
I was later exposed to that, actually.
Yeah, and this was like what introduced me to him. And then I heard people getting excited over Deadpool for X-Men Origins Wolverine. I was like, oh, okay, so this character's apparently funny. And then, even though I wasn't a casual Deadpool fan back then, I could tell why people were upset because I saw Hulk versus Wolverine, so I saw the potential that was there, and I was upset that wasn't showcased in the movie. Yeah. And well, basically, I'm really glad that they decided to, to go back to the whole niche thing. I was really glad that Fox decided to take the risk and eventually make this movie a rated R superhero movie. Because a lot of the time, niche movies that are targeted towards a niche geek crowd tend to not go so well. I mean, we had Snakes on a Plane. That was a big disaster, even though it was hyped up a lot on the internet. Tron Legacy failed, even though Disney spent a shit ton of money promoting it. It's like, it's the return of Tron, it's the sequel you all wanted, and nobody went to see it really. And what was another one? Scott Pilgrim versus the World. That was another movie that was really popular on the internet, and people were buzzing, this saying this is the movie for us, video game geeks and nerds. Nobody went to see it.
What year was that? Scott Pilgrim.
I want to say 2012 maybe?
No, it can't.
No. This was during high school. I remember this was during high school, so it was probably maybe 2009.
Okay, let me see. Because at the same time, I feel like the internet's become more a more filled space.
2010, yeah.
So I feel like I just feel like if that movie was to come out today,
yeah,
and it was popular, it was getting all that traction, I think it'd do really well. I don't know.
I guess you're right. The internet grows bigger and bigger with every passing day. The internet tends to have a much stronger effect on the mainstream media. Yeah. When you have people, especially when you have people who would start on YouTube or whatever, and they make appearances in other media.
I think about how small YouTube would be in 2010 and how big they are now, and I feel like nerd culture has just grown so much more in the span of 5 years that I think now you would see more people going out to see that movie.
Possibly, and maybe that is how. Because maybe that is how we'll eventually see, possibly, if this movie turns out to be a success, which it appears to be doing so far. I mean, as we are recording this, it's Friday night, but
they already announced Deadpool 2, right?
Yeah, they already announced Deadpool 2, and they announced that the movie's doing really well for an opening for an R-rated comedy or R-rated comic book movie. I forgot the headline, but it seems to be doing well as of this recording, so this could hopefully maybe pave the way for more risque choices in terms of movies, maybe more R-rated movies based on comic book stuff.
What would be another good comic book movie that would be rated R that you can think of off the top of your head?
Dread 2, man.
Dread 2?
Dread 2.
I still...
I want Dread 2, man.
I don't think people would watch Dread 2 because I don't think a lot of people are...
Well, fuck them.
To hell with them.
I'm sure there's a lot else out there. I mean, we did have Watchmen back in 2009, although it was also a bit of a financial disappointment. Oh, dude, Wolverine could certainly... we've already got enough of Wolverine, but even then, an R-rated Wolverine would be perfect. I
wonder if this is true. I'm on Wikipedia right now, and it's saying that the budget was $58 million, and the box office, it's done $25 million.
Million, you said.
Yeah,
so it's almost reached half its budget at this point. That's good enough. And $58 million is relatively cheap considering how most movies, superhero special effects movies, tend to go to near 100 to 120, 30. So let's see, is there anything left to say? Well, I guess we haven't mentioned the actors, but they all do a great job. Although I gotta hand it to Ryan Reynolds, man. He is Deadpool.
Yeah, it's like Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. There's another actor who we can't see playing, someone else playing like Hugh Jackman is Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool.
Absolutely, man. This guy was born to play Deadpool, and I'm really happy to see Ryan Reynolds in a good comic book movie. I mean, he was in Blade Trinity, he was in Green Lantern, he was in X-Men Origins Wolverine. I mean, the guy obviously has like a passion for these comic book characters, and I'm really glad to see him like actually succeed in a good movie for once.
Yeah, no kidding.
And so, gotta give props to the man behind it all and the guy who has been supporting this project ever since the dark days of the Deadpool movie, where it's like, it's still happening, guys, it's still happening, we're gonna do the suit, we're gonna break the fourth wall, it's still happening. And you know what? He made good on his promise, man. He did it, and I'm extremely happy for him and everyone else who worked on the movie.
Oh, yeah.
So, let's see. Anything else to say, or should we go to final thoughts?
Final thoughts.
All right, Deadpool, the best Valentine's movie of the year, of the decade.
You could go and watch Zoolander, too, if that's really your thing.
If you want to watch a sequel that I don't think nobody was really asking for.
Yeah, kind of like Dumb and Dumber 2, Just saying, just a little bit here and there. No one really wanted it. No one really cared for it,
So yeah, I love Deadpool. The story itself, it's been there, done that, but I think that may have been the intention. But I think it may not hold up to snuff after multiple viewings. But I think the jokes and the gags and all of that stuff will keep coming back, much like any other comedy. So I'm going to give this Deadpool a very high 4 out of 5.
Gotcha. Well, for me, I definitely think if anyone's a Deadpool fan, they should go watch it. I feel like comic movies should watch it. If I were to give it a rating, which in this case I feel a little more like I could, I'd give it like a 3.75. It's really good. It's really good. I really had a fun time watching it. I don't know how it compares to other superhero movies though. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's rather different from other superhero movies. They try to take things seriously and try to be, either in DC's case, try to be as edgy as possible, or with Marvel, they try to be as fan servicey as possible.
Right. It's no magnum opus. It's no like.
It's not meant to change the world.
Exactly. There you go. But still, it's really good.
It's just meant to have just a damn good time overall.
It's the perfect way to describe it. So yeah, that's my thoughts.
All right then. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is our review for Deadpool. We hope you've enjoyed it. And so, as always, I have been Andres Perez, aka Kaiju Noir,
and Pete.
And until next time, everybody, take care.